Hello and welcome to Advertisers Watching Ads. My name is Tom Ollerton. I'm the founder of Automated Creative, and this is a weekly show where brands watch other brands' ads and discuss what's good and bad about them. We are brought to you this week by our partners Contagious, who have chosen this week's ad. But before we get to that, let's meet this week's guests.
Hi, my name is Holly Richardson, and I am the digital marketing director for Microsoft in the Middle East and Africa.
My name's Jerry Daykin, and I'm the EMEA Senior Media Director at GSK Consumer Healthcare.
Hello, everybody. My name's Richard Hall. I'm the Head of Value, Membership and Loyalty at Tesco.
What a top panel. This is going to be fantastic. Right, let's see the ads.
Two customers at Subway say there wasn't tuna in their tuna sandwich.
Subway is facing a lawsuit claiming
Subway
tuna sandwiches doesn't actually have
tuna
in its tuna sandwiches.
Not only is Subway tuna real, it's actually sourced in the most sustainable way, caught using the traditional pole and line technique. With the internet questioning these credentials,
they're alleging in the lawsuit is that they're using some other mix.
We reassured our young audience in the place they've been fishing throughout lockdown, Animal Crossing.
If you're not familiar with Animal Crossing, I'm sure you know someone that's been obsessed with this game lately.
The hugely popular game where players fish for tuna with a pole and line. So to set the internet straight, we reassured our audience we catch real tuna in the same way by creating the Tuna for Tuna Challenge. Catch a virtual tuna and we'll immediately send you a real one, sourced the exact same way. We made an in-game character and launched a video asking people to get fishing the sustainable way, and oh, did they fish. People spent hours, even days, trying to catch tuna.
If I don't get this tuna, mate, I'll be furious.
No, I missed it.
Rubbish.
Oh, a tuna!
All for a delicious, sustainably sourced tuna sub. Not only teaching people about the benefits of pole and line fishing,
They catch the tuna the same way we catch them here. It's all pole and line.
Instead of nets.
Pretty incredible.
but turning a simple act of gameplay into an education on Subway's questioned credentials. Tuna for Tuna was the most sustainable catch on social media. And instead of Subway's credentials being in question, virtual tuna became real tuna. Case dismissed.
Yes.
So, Jerry, what did you think when you first saw that campaign?
I was quite excited by it first. I thought, Animal Crossing has been a game that's been very talked about in my own timelines and things over the last year or so. It's very of the moment, and it felt like a quite sort of clever thing. At first, I was impressed that they'd sort of managed to do this integration with the game and things, but I actually don't think there is anything particularly integrated. They just kind of got people to tweet screenshots. So I was sort of initially impressed and then cautious that maybe there's not that much under the surface.
I actually used to work for Subway. It was my first job when I was 17 years old. I was a sandwich artist. So yeah, that was quite exciting. But when I watched the video, I was a little bit confused because I was expecting to review an ad, and this did not seem quite like an ad to me, but rather some kind of video, the kind of video that you use to show off a PR campaign or to show off a marketing campaign. So from the campaign itself perspective, as it was described in the video, it looked effective. But the video itself as an advertisement, I'm not so sure.
The first thing I would say is that I think that the Subway team probably should be congratulated for taking a sort of non-traditional approach on what is inevitably quite a serious issue on the reputation of the quality of their ingredients. And I really like the fact they took app gameplay and they rewarded that in real life. I thought that was really smart, that there might have been greater opportunity in this idea than necessarily Subway managed to activate.
The mechanism was simple, but I think it was quite a small, it's a nice tactical piece of comms, but the way it's presented in the video hypes it up, and they show influencers and all these people talking about tuna and stuff, most of which is absolutely nothing to do with their campaign, has nothing to do with Subway. No one has any concept that they're talking about Subway at all. Well thought through, outside the box, oversold, I would say, in how the video tries to make it feel like it was this big movement and everyone knew it was happening. You could always fish in the game. afterwards you could fish in the game. Subway was just asking you, take a screenshot of you doing your normal fishing in the game and let us know about it.
They could have done so much more. And to be fair, to back up, this was a reactive campaign in response to a PR crisis. So they didn't have the luxury of time to come up with, big creative campaign. So I think with that in light, they did a good job, and there was more to it. They're touching upon a really hot topic right now, which is sustainability. So they could have put this on their website, on their product pages, which they haven't. It takes 2 minutes to put the history of your tuna on there, and people can go and review it. It's good for SEO purposes as well. So when people are searching for tuna and Subway, they can show up and it can show with their websites, but it just seemed to just end.
My initial when I watched the case study, my initial thought was, this is incredibly poorly branded, and, there aren't that many distinctive assets at play. But, the reality of people that are playing these games is that they don't want brands to start invading their experiences in their world. And so maybe the team at Subway have quite consciously gone quite subtle on their branding of that particular avatar. And so I think that's actually maybe well considered by Subway.
And what would have improved this for you, Jerry, if you were the media mastermind behind this? What would you be pushing back to the creative team on this?
Some really fantastic opportunities in the media space to, actually partner with games. Probably not Nintendo; they're not big on adverts, but other companies actually be in the game. And gaming is a huge space with lots of eyeballs on it. And so make sure you get in front of those eyes.
And Richard, I'd like to know, do you think there's a reticence with brands when it comes to taking advantage of huge audiences that are playing games like Animal Crossing?
Naturally, I think brands are maybe slightly cautious to get in that space, especially as it's often a form of escapism for consumers outside of their daily lives, or indeed, for entertainment purposes. Initiatives in the past, like Wendy's on Fortnite, or indeed something, like Burger King with the Stevenage FC challenge. These are two ideas that have both integrated online and offline worlds, but they've done so in a way that's complementary to the gameplay rather than invading the experience of that gamer. It just had so much greater opportunity, and maybe it was a speed thing and a time to market thing. We don't know.
So to finish off, what can brands learn from this? What should brands be doing now that Subway have done this, Jerry?
Yeah, I think, gaming is a really exciting space. I think brands are right to try and dip their toe in the water and work out how to do it. I don't necessarily think Subway have cracked it, but I would applaud them for trying, and I'm sure it will lead to bigger things.
For me, it's definitely about making sure you reward the consumer in real life to whatever experience you're asking them to take part with online. And then also think about, what is it beyond that experience online that you can then use as a way to target them again and repeat the purchase in the future.
Exactly. So again, it's to be prepared for a crisis to happen, because it inevitably will happen. So have a good protocol in place, and to use social media, because social media is great. This is where the conversation is happening. So you need to kind of take back control of that conversation. And this is where the press goes as well. So this is a great way of integrating social media. Yes, they could have done more with it, but they had the right kind of idea behind it. And to see the opportunity in the situation, because in the word crisis, the Chinese word for crisis, there are two strokes to the word, the symbol. The first stroke means danger, but then the second stroke also means opportunity. So seeing the opportunity in it and seeing how you can turn this into an opportunity and make more of it, which we discussed earlier in this show. They could have made so much more, especially riding up more on the sustainability aspect, because instead of using it as a defense, they could have been using it more as a selling point.
And finally, on the count of 3, I want you to give this ad vote out of 5 using your fingers. So 1, 2, 3. A 1, a 2, and a 2. Wow, the votes are in. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. If you're watching this, please comment below. What do you think of this ad? Is this a good campaign? Would you give it more than a 1 or a 2? I think I would. I quite liked it. Anyway, thanks for your time. We'll see you next week.